What is up, everybody? I'm back with another video and as you can tell, my camera is set up a little bit different. I'm trying to get the best angle for you guys and trying to figure out exactly where the camera likes the light at, but as you can tell, today we're going to be working on this truck once again. This is the 2019 Trail Boss. The one we lifted in the previous video part 1 of how to lift your truck, or how to lift any trucks, any 164 scale trucks, or anything like that. So today what we're actually going to be doing this is going to be part 2 of the lifted truck, or of the lift on the truck. So we're just going to set that back like that. And so we're going to get our little rod here, which is exactly what I use for the axles. And we're going to be doing our drive shafts. And then we hopefully will be painting the truck as well, or painting the frame, or not really the frame, but we're going to be doing the drive shafts. And then we're going to do our little axle tubing. We're going to just do them in silver since the frame itself is in silver. So let's get right into it. And we're going to go ahead and do our drive shafts. So as you can tell what I'm doing here, I'm actually going to go ahead and do it to this cross member right here, and because for some reason it looks like this is actually a 2-wheel drive truck according to Greenlight. So we're not going to have it as a 2-wheel drive truck anymore. So what I'm going to do is pretty much I'm going to try and mark everything with my finger. And this is actually not how you're supposed to do it, but actually, I'll go ahead and do it the right way since I am showing you guys how to do it. Let me grab a Sharpie real quick. Let me put it up here. Alright, so I'm going to set this exactly where I had it. Give me 1 second here. Alright, so, get the camera to focus if I didn't have it so close. So, I'm just going to set it right there on top of the previous, or the old drive shaft. That was the castings. So we're just going to mark it somewhere around there. It's going to be right in front of your axle tubing there, as you can tell. So make sure to put the lid back on that so it don't dry out. So what you're going to do now is you're just going to cut on that little line there. I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Right there, if you can see, like just a little bitty line there. So we're just going to use the cutters here, and we're going to cut it right down that line. And then, as you can tell, there's kind of a little bit of a sharp end on that. And I'm just going to take a little file, and I'm just going to file that down just a little bit. It don't really take much for this brass to actually have a good, or it's pretty soft metal, or metal, whatever you want to call this. And now, I'm going to take your tweezers. You just kind of want to put it where it needs to be, make sure it fits. Just like that. Make sure my fat fingers ain't in the way there. So, can you tell right there? A little shaky, but, so we're going to grab our handy dandy super glue once again. And we're just going to take a little dab of super glue. A little thing on there. And we're just going to dab a little bit of super glue right there. A little bit right there. Just going to grab the little drive shaft we made up. And then we can just stick it on there. Make sure you kind of line it up where it needs to go. And then you just kind of let it dry there for a few. Make sure I don't have any super glue on my finger before I touch the truck. So I'm going to let this dry for just a few seconds, and then I'll catch you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so I got the drive shaft dried onto there, and as you can tell, I went ahead and I did the other drive shaft there, and made it to where it does look like an actual four-wheel drive truck now. But as you can tell, what I did here is I just pretty much got off the cross member there on that as well, and exactly like this side, and then I just glued it right there to my actual axle tube on both of these. So you just put a little dab right there of super glue, and then a little dab right there. And then what I like to do is take like a little, oh, that one's a dirty one. I like to take a little Q-tip and kind of suck up some of that super glue that we were actually using before on it, just so that we don't have all that residue on the bottom of it, because you know how the super glue, whoa, man, I kicked the camera, sorry about that. But super glue kind of does leave kind of like a white resin, or not resin, residue on the bottom. So actually we're gonna go ahead and get it painted real quick. So let me grab the paint and I'll get you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so as you can tell right there in front of me, we have a little bit of Tester Silver. I was going to do, or I usually do black on like black frames, and I try to do silver on silver frames. And then we have us, whoa, I'm looking at the camera here, and my camera like shows it's over here. But so as you can tell, it is kind of like a little bit harder of a brush. That is probably because I painted so much with it. And on top of painting it, oh, better put the cap back on that. We'll have dried up super glue. Alright, so I'm going to give it a good shake here real quick. You always kind of want to shake it up a little bit, because all the paint, so all the sparkly stuff can mix all up in there. Alright, so usually I'm going to use the lid for this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to glue. I'm just going to kind of pull my wheel off to the side there just a little bit so I don't get any on the wheel. So I already hit it once, and I'll do the same with this side. And then we'll go down the drive shaft with it. Oh, can't see it in the camera, can you? I'm trying to get it to where I can actually see it, but I can't hardly see it with the camera in the way. Whoop. As you can tell, I am trying this new spot on my desk, kind of where you can kind of see what I'm doing instead of just my face. I know that gets boring after a while. This is gonna look like an actual truck here in just a few seconds. Oh, hit the camera with that. Alright, so we're just kind of trying to get all the little spots. I ain't no professional painter by no means, so as you can tell, I hit a spot right there, and a little spot right there in the front. Let's see if we missed. Oh wow, we missed a bunch right here on the back and on the front of the back. Ha! Front of the back. Alright, so let's hit that real quick. And always try to make sure your super glue is dry before you do this, because I have done that before and ruined a couple paintbrushes. Let's see. Alright, so sorry if you can't see this. Let me try and move my camera up just a little bit. Maybe that'll be better. I have a habit of pulling it up, and I'm just trying to make it to where you guys can see it perfectly. It's hard to do that sometimes. So we're just gonna put the lid back on it. Never forget to put the lid back on stuff. It's a horrible idea. Alright, so as you can tell, I did get it painted. I got a little silver, or a little bit of brass showing right there, a little brass color, but ain't no big deal. We'll get it painted up in a little while. But I did want to show you guys exactly how to do that. I'm actually super happy with this truck. I didn't think this truck would actually turn out as good as it did. I was actually going to just do this as a tutorial truck and put it back together the way it was, but now I think I'm going to keep it. I think this truck is a cool truck. It'll go awesome in my collection with the rest of my 100,000 Chevy trucks. But as you can tell there, we have a We have a lifted Trail Boss 2019 Trail Boss in that super cool blue color. I do really like that color. Never actually seen this truck, so if you guys know what this truck or know where this truck comes from, or like what series this truck's in, please let me know. I'd be happy to buy another one, or if you have one, I would be happy to purchase it if you would like to sell it. But let me know what you guys think of the camera angles. What camera angle you like best, if you like the one in the previous video, or if you want to see like maybe I can do it on this side of my desk, or it kind of shows up a little better on that side of my desk in my opinion in the previous video. But we'll see what happens. And so with that being said, I hope you guys really did enjoy the video. And as you can tell, we did finish up on this truck. This is just how you do a little simple lift on a truck. It ain't nothing crazy, so if you guys want to do some crazy stuff, you can actually get 3D printed rear end and front end for trucks and stuff like that. Or if you want to go for just kind of a shelf piece or something you can put in your garage or something like that, you can use like what I was doing there, and that is the Q-tip tubing. And then just do your little drive shafts. And of course 3D printed parts are awesome for if you're doing customer stuff, which I do use a lot of 3D printed parts on customer trucks, and a lot of 3D printed wheels on some of my trucks, and as well as customer builds. I use almost every one of the customer builds is usually a 3D printed everything usually. But with that being said, I hope you guys really did enjoy it, and I hope you guys like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon, it would really help me out, and I hope I see you guys in the next one.